Hey fans, ha! You know I'm fooling around. I don't got any friends on here. Welcome to another one of Chris's beer reviews. I got a beer that's been sitting in my beer hall collection for quite some time now. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a lot of dust on there, so I'm just going to be getting rid of that. This is a Anchor Steam San Francisco beer. Where's the brewery here? It's bottled by Anchor Brewing, and yeah, 4.8% ABV at a 355 milliliter bottle. I'll read this very briefly for you. Anchor Steam brand beer derives its unusual name from the 19th century when steam seems to have been a nickname for beer brewed in the west coast of America under primitive conditions and without ice. The word steam may have referred to the pressure of natural carbonation developing in the beers. Today, the brewing methods of those days are a mystery, and for many decades, Anchor alone has used the quaint name Steam for its unique beer. Today, Anchor is one of the smallest and most traditional breweries in the world. San Francisco's famous Anchor Steam brand beer is unique for our brewing process, has evolved over many decades, and is like no other in the world. And on the other side, it says, Anchor beer is virtually handmade with exceptional respect for the ancient art of brewing. The deep amber color, the thick creamy head, and the rich flavor all testify to our traditional brewing methods. So, you heard it. I'm stoked to try this beer. It being, a 355 milliliter bottle now, I decided to pour it into my tiny 355 milliliter glass. We would call that a Pilsner over here. And, yeah, here we go. Oh, and right before I get into it, we got a cool Anchor branded cap here. And it says to use an opener. Oh! Ding-a-ling. Oh, this beer's about to... Ooh, smells nice. Smells nice. Smells like a good beer. I'm quite sure, remember that this said that it was an amber beer, and from what you and I are both looking at here, it doesn't look very amberish. So this is more like a 355 milliliter bottle, when glass when it comes to a beer that doesn't have any head. So again, it's a little bit more of a pungent lager, malty kind of aroma you're picking up here. I'm picking up here. We got a one finger head, very much more like a lager color. A little bit darker. It's got a little bit of amber in it, but it's not like overall amber like I was expecting. We do have a white head, and it's quite creamy. Let's see how it goes. It's a good beer, man. I am not a guy who's really into lagers, but this really does have like a crisp and refreshing malty taste to it that is just going down the hatch with ease. Very smooth on the front, smooth on the back, extremely refreshing. The carbonation is just, I would say, is a little bit more, it's got a little bit more bite than most carbonation out there. Definitely has a whoo! It's got the chills there. I got goosebumps all over the place. Definitely a good beer. It's very creamy, not in the body as much as it is in the head. And for those who are looking at this on the shelf and they're seeing a six-pack and they're wondering whether they're going to like it or not, trust me on this one. If you are picky, this is actually a pretty phenomenal beer. Yeah, it was brewed since 1896. These people really know what they're doing. It's got some of the ingredients on the front there. You can see some wheat over here, and over there, not too sure what type of greenery we got going on over there. But it doesn't say whether it's a lager or an ale, but it really does. Now I'm debating, because it has kind of an ale-ish taste to it because of the fact that it's so malty. So I'm going to take back my initial lager approach, and I'm going to say this tastes a little bit more like an ale. But it's actually delish. And one thing that you can see here, it's been about 3 minutes, and not only do we have magnificent lace, playful throughout, but we still got some head there. There probably wouldn't be any head if I didn't pour in the last bit of the bottle, but for a beer that tastes this good, like it's not a plain bland beer, but there isn't many things going on in there, so for it to taste so good while being so simple and maintaining such an amazing overall experience, I am vastly amazed with this beer. I'm probably going to be giving it a really good rating. Couldn't even think of a beer to compare this to. When I'm talking about that like malty taste, I'm kind of talking about like when you take a sip of Molson Canadian or Alexander Keith's and you kind of have that like slight malty caramelized aftertaste. That's what you're getting with this, except you're getting it amplified. Sorry, you're getting it at an amplified level. So you really are enjoying the best part about this beer as much as possible. There you go, right to the bottom. Phenomenal beer. For the type of beer that this is, for it being a beer that is brewed in ways that people don't, that companies don't normally brew it, sticking with such an old traditional style, I really have to say it, everybody, but among all lagers and ales, and what I have experienced with lagers and ales, I could easily give this a like a 4.4 out of 5. Like, it's actually that good. It's good enough that if somebody said, "Hey, is there a beer out there that's worth trying that I've never had before?" I'd be pointing this one out if they like your traditional or typical lager taste or ale taste. They don't really get very much, if not any, of a hoppy taste in there whatsoever, which is usually what weans people away from trying new beers. Anyways, this review's dragging on for the amount of time that I've actually spent enjoying it. So thanks for joining me for another one of Chris's beer reviews. Thanks to the fans that I mentioned at the beginning that I don't really have, and yeah, no. Whoever is a fan of mine out there, thank you for watching my reviews. I love every one of you, from the hits to the likes to the, favorites to the subscriptions. I don't ask for much. I'm happy with what I got. So, cheers, alright? Don't drink and drive, but drink responsibly.